everyone, I'm Nick Baldwin, LCA co-founder. Welcome back to LCA How It Works. We are here again today with Gus from Power ISA. We're going to dive deeper into how Power ISA can help you heavy Facebook lead generators better convert those tough to nail down Facebook leads. Thanks for being here again with us, Gus.
Awesome. Happy to be here, Nick.
So in episode 1, we talked about the lead manager who helps follow up and helps convert those incoming leads to your database from internet sources like realtor.com, Zillow, etc. But why is Facebook such a different animal, and what type of ISA could help with that?
Yeah, no, I love it. And Facebook is such a relevant topic right now because Facebook and Instagram, probably the largest pool of leads that we see on a daily basis. And it's not close, right? Facebook and Instagram are the largest amount. It is also the largest source of frustration for most internet leads, right? And Nick, you're the social guy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is a byproduct of the type of lead that it is. It's an interruption-based marketing. You're typically not on Facebook or Instagram browsing for homes. It's not Zillow.com. It's not Realtor.com. You're showing up an ad that gets their attention, and something motivated them to stop scrolling and click on that, right? There's something there. There's something there. But it's different than Zillow or Realtor.com or your database or a referral. The biggest source of frustration that I see with agents is that they approach or they look at these Facebook leads with the same expectation that they have for some of these other lead sources. Your database referrals, Realtor.com, they go into it asking them, how many bedrooms and bathrooms do they want? Do they want to talk? Are they pre-approved for a mortgage? When do they want to go see properties? And 95% of the Facebook leads you talk to are not at that stage yet. Okay, no. 95%. Okay, they're just not there. And you're trying to meet them to here at the bottom of the funnel, and they're up here. And the message they get, Nick, is that no. I don't want to talk to you yet, Nick. I'm not there. And I'm not who you want to talk to. So let me just block your number going forward. And even if we have a good conversation, I'm going to ghost you, Nick. That's what I'm going to do. Why? Because you just told me I'm not the person you're looking for. I'm just getting started, Nick. I'm not there. Obviously, we shouldn't be talking right now. That's the decision they make. The only feedback we normally get as agents is they don't respond to our calls or our text messages anymore. That's the feedback we get, right? Because we don't meet that lead where they are. We don't meet that lead where they are. So the number one thing you have to do to be more successful with Facebook leads, actually with an ISA or without an ISA, is understand that dynamic of where it works. Okay, Facebook is a great opportunity because cost per acquisition for as a lead source for Facebook and Instagram beats everything else. Okay, right now we're talking about 2022, right? It kills everything else, cost per acquisition. But you have to make peace with the fact that out of 100 Facebook leads, 5 of them are going to transact in the next year. Okay, 5 of them are going to transact. Most agents get 0 to 1 of those. Okay, they get 0 to 1 in the next year of those 100 Facebook leads. The top teams in the country get 3 out of those 5. Okay, 3 out of those 5. And I'm not making these numbers up. I actually see them across the board for the top teams. And actually, LCA moderator and Barry Jenkins, right, also talks about it in his really awesome book, Plug for Barry, Too Nice for Sales, confirmed this number when I read his book, because he sees it at a large scale on his own team and the teams he works with through iLopo. So that's what you want to go to. That's what we want to get to. But what do the top teams have, Nick? Well, number one, they try to meet the lead where they are. They assume that these leads are at the top of the funnel, right? And guess what? That's awesome that you're just getting started. We can add so much value to you, even if you're just getting started. In fact, especially since you're just getting started, right? And they don't take that as an objection. They go, oh no, then I don't want to talk to you. On the contrary, I want to talk to everybody. Because 2 things happen, Nick. Number one, they might not be very forthcoming what their actual time frame is or their seriousness is, right? They might actually be telling, because there's no reason to yet. They don't know you. They don't like you. They don't trust you yet, right? So you always want to make sure that first contact, And this is so important when you have an ISA, but even if you don't have an ISA, that first contact is not about getting the appointment. With a Facebook lead, the first goal of that contact is to show them that you're valuable to talk to, okay? That it is in their best interest to talk to you. And the most effective way we found is to try to teach them something they don't know about the process, about getting qualified, about interest rates, very popular topic right now for a lot of these leads. Interest rates, why should I be worried about that? What do they do? Any kind of loan programs out there, the conditions of the market. Teach them something they don't know, and it makes the next call, the next text message much more likely to happen, much more likely to happen. And that is the starting point of the conversion process. You're not done yet, but just getting a lead to take your next call and respond to your next text message can make all the difference in the world. And that should be the goal of that first interaction with most of these Facebook leads.
You said something there that I love, and I've also been preaching it too. Like, we as agents have such a great opportunity with Facebook leads because they haven't, yet looked at Zillow all that much, or they haven't gone on realtor.com. They've just kind of started to look for houses in some way, shape, or form. But you have a really great opportunity to educate and kind of hold their hand through the process. Like, a Zillow lead is typically pre-approved and they're ready to buy a house within 60 to 90 days. A Facebook lead probably hasn't spoken to a lender. They don't know anything about the buying process. If you give them some sort of piece of valuable information, they're going to think of you as a local expert. So I think that is
exactly
a piece of valuable
information. If they see you as an expert, Nick, they're more likely to interact with you, follow up with you, and haggle less on your commission, for example. It's very different if you're the faceless, nameless realtor that all seems the same to them as everybody else versus, no, Nick knows what the hell he's talking about. Oh, interesting. Right. Oh, Nick is awesome. Okay, great. So awesome, Nick. Now he's valuable. Agents suck, but not Nick. Nick's different, right? Because Nick knows what I need to know and he can solve my problems. Nick is great. That's where you want to get to.
Love it. So how do your ISAs approach these leads differently? Like, do they say different things? Do they have what's the approach?
Great. So number one, it starts with the kind of questions you're asking, okay? You cannot be going for the kill on how many bedrooms, bathrooms are you pre-approved, right? That is not a top of the funnel question, right? No, because they did not even know. They don't know the square footage. What kind of home do you want? Is it this or that kind of home? But one of the questions you should be asking on first contact is, for example, what would they change about the home they have right now, right? Which is a great question from Barry. He loved that question. We love that question too. I know you're just getting started, Nick. I just have a quick question for you, right? What would you change about the home you have right now? A top of the funnel lead can answer that because everybody can answer that, quite frankly, right? What would they change about that? Okay, that's awesome. And in a perfect world, what kind of a home would you be thinking about in the future? Because, they're way ahead. It's early and you understand it's early. And that's fine. No worry about, no pressure. You're just trying to get some information from them to help them out, right? Going forward, etc. And those are the questions you want to ask. More open-ended questions, more top of funnel oriented questions. And there's always that value add, which is not just an offer. It should be a piece of information that they don't have right now. It can take the form of a blog post. You just posted on, on the state of the interest rates and how sellers are buying down some of these interest rates for their clients. Would you like to check that out? Check out one of our case studies, right? How we got this guy a great rate right now. Well, that's interesting for me as a buyer. I like to know that as a potential buyer, right? Or guess what? Some of the builders in our area are offering incentives to get you a 4.9 interest rate. I'm making the number up, right? It doesn't really matter what the number is. Right. Check that out. Would you like to have a list of those top buyers offering the best incentives right now, right? Guess what? They're in the table. The tables have turned on these builders. You can have some great deals with them. Would you like that information? That's great. YouTube video, blog post, article, even if it's not yours. You don't have to be like, ideally all of these are yours, Nick, but if you don't have them yet, right? Maybe you're getting started, then get some good ones, right? You can find locally and send them that information that is valuable to them, regardless of where they are in the process. Because the more informed they are, the more likely they can make a better decision. And a lot of times that time frame can move up because if they're a qualified buyer and they're empowered and they have a motivation, anxiety might be holding them back. That's the only thing actually holding them back from pulling the trigger sooner, because they don't know what's going to happen, in the next 6 months, in the next year. That as a consumer, you can educate, you can coach, you can teach them what's going on and why doing something right now is better. But they don't know, like, and trust you yet. You can't go for the kill with these folks. You gotta give them some breadcrumbs, give them some content, right? And when I talk about, teaching them something they don't know, I'm talking about content, a piece of content. Give them a piece of content. And your ISA is dropping those breadcrumbs, right? Dropping those breadcrumbs on every single check-in. Every single follow-up is an opportunity to, yes, check in, see how things are going, but give them the next piece of content they should check out to be a more informed, empowered buyer. Invite them to your next class, your next webinar, your next event, whatever it happens to be, right? So you're always adding value. And I promise you, you're going to have better conversations with those leads when you're taking that approach with them.
So would you suggest that before an agent gets started with one of these ISAs, they should have some of this content prepared?
Correct. They either, preferably, best case, it's your own content that you're making, but at the very least, you should have some links, local links from different news sources, local area experts, blog posts about the interest rates, buying it down, that you can share with them regardless. And you shouldn't stop, because sometimes agents get intimidated by that. Oh, holy cow, I don't have a super Nikon camera. You don't need that, right? You need your phone to make YouTube videos. That's another topic for another day. You can create these very easily, but if not, it's not an excuse. Get that information ready, because it should be part of your nurture process.
Right. I love it. Yeah. We should be building content, creating content as agents anyway. There's always something to make a video about, something to write about, and it doesn't have to be a long video. It could be a short video. Just post it up on YouTube. There's lots of hot real estate topics to go and build your own content out of. Like, look online every day about interest rates and create a video, and then use that as the new piece of content. You can give that to your ISA every day and say, hey, use this. This is going to be good for a couple of weeks, and let's just throw those breadcrumbs out. So I love that. So one last question. Will the ISA really kind of keep tabs on these people? Yes, keep tabs on these people over a certain period of time, but how will they know when, okay, this lead probably isn't ever going to pan out? What are the clues?
That is, the beauty of this process. You don't really know, Nick. That's really, I'd love to say, oh yeah, if they say this, stop following up with them. If they can pick up the phone and they haven't bought or sold a home yet, you should be following up with them, kind of regardless. It's hard to do as an agent. It's very challenging to do. ISA is part of that leverage that helps you solve that problem. So you should be reaching out, adding value, and asking them where they are in that process, right? You're always asking and trying to add value and seeing where they are, right? People that are closer to that moment are going to be, okay, you know what? Yeah, I think I might be kind of talk to Nick. Okay, sure. When is he available? That kind of a situation. Or even better, Nick, you're checking in with them on a regular basis. They just text you back. Hey, I'm ready to pick up. Nick, when can we book a call? Those are the best. Actually reaching out to you. They're so used to you following up with them. They go, yeah, you're right. I'm ready to go. I got to make this happen with Nick. You send out, maybe you email blast everyone your latest video. That's great. You email and you get the responses back. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's time to go. It's go time. Let's make it happen, right? Because the market might have peaked. Got to go into it. I can get some of that upside right now. So you always want to tap into that. But Nick, I would tell people, don't overthink it. Don't overthink that. When is the right time to continue? When is the right time to stop? If they haven't bought and they're picking up the phone, you're talking to them, regardless of that, right? The goal is to have a ton of people in that pipeline, a ton of people, and have them prioritized. Follow-ups for a lot of those folks, and everybody else is on ISA follow-up and an ISA sequence.
You never know. This is what I say a lot. People that you meet on Facebook, it's not that maybe they're not ready. It's that they lack the information that it takes to understand that they might be ready.
Correct.
So if you're dropping all these nuggets and you're giving them all this info on the market or on interest rates or whatever it might be, they might be like, you know what? Or down payments, they might be like, you know, I'm actually ready sooner than I thought I was. Like, this is really good. I'm putting all these pieces
I
together.
didn't know. I thought I needed 20% down.
Right.
I thought
Did you know that the average down payment last year was 13%? That's a true statistic. Imagine telling, oh, well, I don't have 20% down. You don't need that. Did you know that the average down payment's 13%? What?
Holy cow.
You know what I mean? Who they might have that.
Yeah. Oh, but Nick, interest rates. Oh my God, interest rates. You should be able to handle that objection. Like Mr. Buyer, I totally understand, the concern, right? You can have some of these options where a seller can bite down your rate, right? Or Mr. Seller or Mr. Buyer, if interest rates go down, you have the option to refinance in the future, right? You marry the home but date the rate. If interest rates go up, well, guess what? You just locked in the interest rate today, maybe even with a seller incentive on top of that, right? If that's a concern, go straight after that. I mean, those are objections you got to be able to handle. The other objection you should be able to handle: is it a good time to buy or sell right now? In any market, you got to be able to answer that question. Is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell? And I love that. I don't like to take out my crystal ball when I answer that question. I take out the whiteboard and educate clients on what's happening right now. What's happening right now in the market, not what you saw on CNN or the New York Times or these other, BuzzFeed. No. I'm showing you what's happening right now and what's happened in the past. Through every single recession except 2008, every single recession, what's happened in the real estate market.
Because every market is different. You got to take it down to a granular level.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been super informative. I love it. I love that you have ISAs that are trained in Facebook leads. Very, very important. It is the most cost-effective way to generate leads on the internet. The ROI is always going to be there if you say and do the right things. And by the way, if you get 100 Facebook leads, that'll probably cost you like what, $300 for 100 Facebook leads?
Absolutely.
Closing one, the ROI is there all day long.
Probably is.
Because I'm guessing that in any market in the country, your commission is more than $300. I'm just guessing.
Probably is.
So, well, thanks for being here, Gus. Appreciate it. We learned a lot about Power ISA on LCA, how it works. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.